Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Canva course for beginners. Today is day 6. So today's class is about learning how to design an ad or a poster from scratch. Basically the same principles. We get to play around with some of the things we've been learning, which is using elements, and even some of the free tools. Speaking of that, there was two I forgot to mention in the previous lesson. All right, so it's called, so it's this two here. Let me just go to it. It's called the color, so imagecolorpicker.com, right? So sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to have a client. The client is going to come to you and say, hey, I need you to make for me a logo or a poster or anything. But then they will not really have an idea of what color to use, right? So maybe they'll have an idea of the color. They'll say something like maybe it's certain kind of red, and they'll try to describe it and what really makes sense. So usually what I'll do is I'll tell them send a picture of something that has that color, and then I'll upload it to this website. So you get a picture, you upload it here, and then what happens is once it's uploaded, you can click anywhere in the image where the color is showing. You click, and it actually tells you what that color is. And then now that you know what the color is, you have it here, you can just copy that, copy it to your clipboard, you come to Canva, and then you click, maybe for now, let's try to change the background to the color we just picked, and you can actually search, copy, you paste it here, the color you copied, and boom. You can do that with icons, images, text, anything. So that's a tool that I think is very useful. I'll add it to the description as well, the link to the description. So yeah, let's get started with today's class. All right, so we're going to be trying to design something from scratch. For now, I want to design an ad for a drink, okay? Just a little nice looking ad for a drink. So to get started, let's put in our drink. So this is Cold Cherry by Cold Hearted. It's not an actual drink, but yeah, created it for the purposes of this class. All right, so let's try to expand that a little bit so we can actually see what we're working with. All right, so that's what we're working with, right? So initial thoughts. You'd want to have a background that kind of matches what you're designing. So here the bottle, but then it doesn't really overpower it, right? So one cool feature that Canva has, so let's say I want to change the background and I click there, is that it's going to analyze the bottle and actually break down the colors that are there. Okay, so I can just use any one of them. Because it's cherry, I would like to use this color here. And so, yeah, we have that there. But immediately you see the bottle is really blending into the background, so it's really hard to see it. We want something that makes it pop out. So what I would do at this point is I would come to elements and I would search for a shadow. Okay, I'll get a shadow effect there. So it's a graphic. Okay, let's try to find a shadow. So there are different shadows here. Look for something specifically to put behind it there. Okay, let's go for this one, right? So let's expand it a little bit. Okay, let's expand this. Let's expand our shadow. I want it to cover up as much shadow here. Okay, and then we layer it behind the bottle. Okay, let's send it to the back, and boom. Immediately you see the bottle now is kind of like popping out, yeah? You can see it literally popping off from behind there, which is a lot, it already looks a little bit more neat. All right, so now we have that. We have the bottle there popping out. So there are a few other things you can do to try to make it stand out. You could, for example, let's try to make this just a little bit smaller. So we can actually work around it. Yeah, so we can work around it. Let's make it a little smaller. And then maybe just place it in the shadow itself there. And then center it. All right. So another thing we can do is try to add like a light source. Okay. So let's say light source of some kind. All right. You can try to add a light source, which is also a graphic. Okay, Try and see if we can find any light sources here. Want something to put behind it. Okay, let's just say white light. So let's try a white light. Okay, so once again, it might take a little bit of while because we'll have to use something that's solely, we're solely going to be using free stuff. Oh, yeah, there we go. So let's layer that to the back, center back, behind that. Let's try to change the color to fit more of what we're working with. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can make that lighter. So when you click the settings of the color, you can actually play around with it. So here, that's what we're going to try to do here. So let's click those settings and try to make it just a little bit brighter. Just a little bit brighter. Yeah, like that. Okay. All right, so we have that kind of like bright effect there. And what we're also going to try to do is try to also edit the image as well, okay? Try to make the bottle itself also seem a little bit brighter. So for here, what we're going to do is we're going to come here, okay? And we're going to click adjust. All right. And then under adjust, we're going to want to go to, oh, no. Sorry, no, wrong area. Okay, so we're going to click there. And then we're actually going to come to shadows, sorry. Okay, and then we're going to click glow. So we add like a little glow around the bottle. Okay. And then the color of the glow should be, let's try something closer to the color of the bottle. Let's try something with spectrum somewhere here. Something closer, yeah. A little cherry glow around the bottle. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we've got a little glow there. Gonna increase the intensity of the glow. Maybe not that intense, but yeah. Add a little intensity to the glow so we can be able to see it properly. Okay, so we have the glowing bottle there. For lights, something else you can also consider doing is actually adjusting it and increasing the warmth, the temperature to add that. Yeah, excellent. All right, so now, okay, already we can see something taking shape here, right? Might not look as good yet, but just trust me on our little process here. So we're looking at the theme. So for now, looks like from the color scheme we're using and everything else, we can see that we're trying to give it more of this, we're leaning more into the cherry aspect of it. All right. So actually, before we go there, there's another cool effect we've added, because you see we've added like a little glow coming from behind it, right? So to further create kind of that illusion of the glow, you can do that. Okay, first let's edit it. Let's remove the shadow. All right. Okay, there, shadow. I will say none. Okay, no shadow there. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is, okay, make sure it's the same size. Now we'll try to, reduce it to like the same height. And then we're going to flip it vertically, create a mirror image of it, and then place it underneath our actual bottle there. And place it underneath our bottle here. Okay, and then we're going to come here and we're going to reduce the transparency. Okay. So this may be 20. Let's make it 20. Let's make the transparency 20. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. And then, like I said, because we're really trying to lean into the whole cherry aspect of it, Another thing we can consider adding is actual cherries. So we come here and we search for some cherries, right? So cherry. And let's search for some actual cherries. I want cherries that are actual, that look real. Right, so you could use some graphic cherries there, or you could try to use some images, though I can see some problems that might come from there, but let's go ahead. All right. Yeah, so we might want to add some little cherries all around here, right? To make the image look really, really good. Okay. Okay, let's try to add some cherries. Let's search for cherry here. Okay, there they are. They're coming. Okay. All right. Some nice looking cherries here. All right. So typically what would happen here, typically what would happen here is that I would, right, because we can see we want to get them from the images, but then we can see they have the background, and like I said, the background remover is a premium feature, and we want to do this free. So we can either use the graphics, or I can show you how to utilize the tools for free images. So we can go to any of the sites I showed you yesterday. Okay, for different images and what that you can actually use. Okay. All right. So we try to actually find some stock images of cherries. Okay, find cherries. Let's search cherry. We download some cherries to use, right? To add a little spark to our images, or a little spark to our design there, to make it look neat and good. Okay. Okay, it's searching. Okay. Let's be specific. Let's say the cherry. Oh, cherries. I guess cherries. I need to actually know what I'm talking about. So I can research for cherries. Search for cherries. Okay, and already there we see we even have the exact images that were there. Some of them are there. So we can download that. Okay. So I can download as many of them as you think you will need to make your image look neat. Okay. Alright, once you've downloaded your images, you go to your background remover. Okay, you're gonna go to your background remover here. And then you're going to remove the background from the different cherries that you chose. So you're going to come here and you remove the background from the cherry that you chose. So ideally you do this with all of them. You're going to do this with literally all of them. You go to each one, remove the background, each one, remove the background, each one, remove the background, so on and so forth. Then once you have now successfully uploaded all your documents to, you've uploaded all your documents, I mean, you've successfully removed the background from all the images, that you got from the website using the background remover too. You now come here to your upload and you upload all of the images without their backgrounds. You find each one without the backgrounds, the ones that you find are relevant to your design. You find all of the ones relevant to your design, then you upload them here to your Canva. Okay, and you can immediately start adding them where you think they would fit. You can add this just beside here. Make sure to always try to crop the image a bit to remove the excess. Okay, there we go. And we also do the same with this. We flip it to give it the same effect as the bottle. We copy it, then we flip the copy upside down vertically to create the same effect as the bottle. The bottle, make sure they're slightly aligned. The bottle, yeah. That will create the same effect. Use that to 20 as well. Same effect. And then maybe you want to get these two cherries. Use them. You can also add them here if you'd like. There. Copy. Flip. Horizontal. Yeah, we flip them vertically. We flip the borders as well, and yeah, reduce the transparency to 20 as well. And there, already you can see things are starting to take shape and actually look really good. Okay, we got our little designs here. Okay, so you can still add more stuff. You can add this for some effect, reduce them a lot. Let me bring them here to make it look like they're falling into the bottle. Let's see. Can increase that slightly. And then, yeah, so we're gonna layer them backwards. Okay, to give it that effect, like the cherry is actually falling into the bottle, and you can already have this really cool effect. And we keep going. Let's add some water effects. Oh, sorry. Let's go to our elements and add some water effects. Water. Now, let's go. We're going to use graphics this time around. Yeah, some water graphics, something that looks cool. Okay, we can actually use this. Okay. What that is at the is this a, it's not a paint, right? Oh. Okay. Okay, add a splash of color there. And then let's layer it at the back. Let's layer it for this one because there are too many now. Let's just change its position to cut out on time. We want it behind the bottle. There we go. Okay, and we can change the color. Let's mix now if we want that. There we go. A little bit of that. I think it was okay as it was. Yeah, there we go. We have that little effect there. reduce this a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Put some water there. Sorry, not shadow. Not shadow. Yes. You can try to adjust the warmth a little bit. Temperature, let's see if that. Yep. Yeah. And then we've got that called cherry. And then, so that's one way around it. Okay. So far already you can see how the designs, how I'm using different effects to make this design look quite unique. And then from here now you can just start adding things to show maybe some labels and things like that. So you come here, maybe label. If you want to add some labels, to just add like little cool designs to it to finish things up. Add a little flair to it. If you want to add a label to the Alright, you can add anything you want at this point to just emphasize the design. You know, anything to look good. But ideally, I think you're getting the idea, right, of how this thing should be actually done. Okay, change the main colors there. And we want it to actually show a little bit, maybe black. And then the others, now I can change. Do something else anyway. Text. Another heading. Now, okay, let's change the color there. Color of the text. The color of the text. Oh yeah, I can change the color of the text. The color that suits us more. Once again, we check the orientation here. Position. We check the orientation. Okay, we're gonna copy that. Add that to the text. Oh, sorry. Position. Add the orientation to the text. I'm going to reduce that just a little bit more. Yeah, just something like that anyway. Out now. Maybe the colors, we can change that. Something white. Yeah, but ideally, I'm hoping this is helping you get the idea of how to work out the designs, design something that you like. And if you want, you can add some effects to the text, some neon there, and then yeah, out now, something like that. Code cherry. So ideally, that is just a sample of how to do this, how to create an ad from scratch, and yeah, start to finish. Yeah, try to make one really quick, real quickly, just so that you gain the general idea of how everything is done. But yeah, I think we can end today's class here. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, hope you look forward to the next class, which is going to be day 7. So, all right.